Well, did you do your homework today, gang? I asked to see if you, in your daily routine, typically drink about 8 glasses of water a day. Now, 70% of the human body is composed of water. So we need to be maintaining a proper hydration. If you're doing a lot of exercise, or if we're out in the wilderness setting, since this is a wilderness channel, if we're out there doing some sort of activity, this precious gift of water is going to be something that we need to maintain. That brings me up to tonight's video, which is about containers. Most people can go to their faucet in their house, turn it on, and clean what we hope is clean at least. Water comes out of that faucet with relative ease. We in the United States and in many countries, but mainly the US, some other more modern countries, have this as a great benefit. However, there are many countries in the world that they have to hike probably 5 miles away at times to get water that's going to maintain their family for all of their needs for a given day. So this is a very precious commodity. I'm going to get into the Save the World video today with talking about water and our waterways. I'll probably save that for another time. But this is something that all too many of us just waste on a daily basis. Try not to do that. The reason why I wanted you to drink 8 glasses of water today, so you realize the amount of water it takes to stay properly hydrated. The United States military has done several studies, and what they're finding is most of the populace is dehydrated and they don't know it. So 8 glasses of water a day, guys. The real reason I did this was because now you're seeing whatever container that you're choosing to bring with you to keep that level of hydration, and then to add in water to possibly cook in or to warm food or to rehydrate food. That amount goes up quite a bit. So what we're going to do now is move outside because it's a beautiful day out there today. Stay with me, guys. All right, guys. Well, welcome back to video 3 in our week-long discussion about the 5 C's. And what I have here before me are several types of containers. Remember, anything that you can either carry water, boil water, which is more preferable, and have it be something that's single-walled, which is going to be important in our discussion here. Any improvised container that I could utilize solar methods or chemical methods of water purification would also be a good container. Don't rule out your soup cans or any type of a tin, especially if it's a heavier walled tin can, kind of like a food storage can. All of those are containers. The thing with containers is going to be, what is our primary function for that? Most of the time, we're going to utilize something like this, just as a tin cup, for cooking purposes or for water sterilization purposes. That's typically the primary function of a container for what we need it for in bushcraft skills. The other purpose of a container is something like this. This is a Stanley bottle. Is for carrying of purified water by any means, and we'll discuss all of that at a later video about how to procure water from the natural environment. But something like this, I can keep water in my backpack and always have it on my person as I'm traversing that wilderness terrain from one point to the next. The thing I like about the Stanley bottle, although it's got a plastic top to it, that top just unscrews and now I've got a decent lip off the front of the bottle here. And again, it's a stainless steel single wall bottle. Why is single wall important? Well, some of your types of water storage devices out there are probably mainly a double wall container. Now, an argument could be made for a double wall container. These are the types of containers that you put coffee in to keep it hot, or a cold beverage to keep it obviously cold, and they stay that way for extended periods of time. That is a double wall container. I can't put a double wall container over the fire and have it radiate heat up through the container to sterilize water by boiling. If I'm going to boil water for sterilization purposes, I want to bring that water up to enough of a temperature and maintain a rolling boil for a period of time of at least a minute. That will help kill any pathogens that might be in the water. I could, in theory, use a tin cup, transfer that water back over to a double wall container, and then that way I've got hot water for a later point on the trailhead. So an argument can be made for that, but it's typically not what we would normally want to have in a pack. So that's something that I want you to consider. Plastic bottles are another good source of container. This bottle, I can chemically treat water, or I can solar treat water and kill most of the pathogens. It's a storage device that I could then throw in a backpack, so I don't want to overlook plastic bottles. That would be the same as a discarded soup can or food can, whatever that case is. I've at least got an aluminum container that I can use for cooking purposes or for boiling of water. So again, it is a resource that I might want to say, hey, throw that in the bottom of the pack. What you could do would be take a soup can like this. If the lid wasn't here, that would actually then nest right over the top of the Stanley cup system here. So then you'd have an all-in-one container and cup cooking type of a vessel. This is a heavy wall aluminum foil. If I'm looking to make a small pack, or at least have a plan B option, which I've always said throughout this series, he's not just saying have one, have some redundancy built into your kit. To build a container in a wilderness setting is extremely difficult. You've got to have the right tools to do it. Heavy wall aluminum foil I could form into a cup or a bowl and utilize this for sterilization of water. So for a small survival kit or something that I have on my belt, this is a viable option for you. Another note on containers. Dave always says if you're going to put something in your pack, make sure it can do more than one thing. Something that I use very consistently on my camping excursions whenever I go out with the family is the Jetboil system. The Jetboil is an all-in-one cooking container. It's a titanium-based mug, basically, with a stove and a cooking stove already built into this. I use this thing all the time to make coffee, to warm up water for instant type of ready-to-eat meal type situations. I use it for sterilization of water. There's so many things I can do with this. And the good thing about the Jetboil is it does fit that it's multiple used product. It's got a lid on it. I can use it to store water in, but I also have a way right in this unit to make fire because it's got a built-in stove that's already within the cooking system. So if you're looking for something like that, this is a good viable option for you. The other reason I like the Jetboil, think about this. If you're on a trail, and it's a normal time, so you're up on a trail, the Appalachian Trail, wherever, and they've got a fire ban, I have a way to warm up water. I also have a way to sterilize water that I can source naturally from the environment. Here's another thought for all you urban folks that are out there. If I'm on the run and I want to have a hot cup of coffee, sterilize water, or make a hot meal, all of which, if you look at any times of war situations, the soldiers will always say a good hot meal and most importantly a good cup of hot coffee are godsends in those environments. So strongly consider something like a Jetboil because there's nothing that I have to do to build a fire. I can do all this alongside a trail in a few short minutes, have hot water ready to go or a hot meal ready to go, put all that back into the pack, and I don't have any signature of smoke or light coming from a campfire. So it is a viable pack option. So please keep that in mind. The other thing that I have, and it's in my Maxpedition pack here, like you see kind of the hose here, I do have a CamelBak in here. Even if I don't have water in it, and that might be by choice because of the weight of the water, at least I have a large bladder that I can then purify water as long as I have one of these other items in front of me and store that in the pack either at camp or as I then have to reach out to other areas. So that's also a good viable option. Later on when we get a little bit deeper into spring here, I'm going to show you how to go out and source water by many different methods from the natural environment. We can get it from a lake, a stream, but there's many other ways to do that as well. Making a solar still, making a transpiration bag off from foliage or off from a tree or a plant of some sort. There's many ways to source water. Keep in mind, it's one of the rules of threes. 3 days without water. We must have this. It is an absolute precious gift. Don't waste it when you do find it. Know how to source it and know how to make it clean so you can drink it and not make yourself sick. So kind of a quick down and dirty tonight on containers. It's a very important part of the 5 C's, guys. Definitely put some time and do your own homework on this. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. Do your own homework. Figure out what best suits your needs. Do your own research and make that happen for your backpack, your home, your emergency vehicle kit, whatever kit that you need. Make it happen for yourself. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at cordage. There's really no homework assignment tonight. I hope that for those of you that watched the channel yesterday, you actually did the 8 glasses of water today challenge and just see how much it actually takes to properly hydrate your body. You probably found that you felt pretty good, but you also probably found, like I did, that you're always running to the restroom. Well, that's okay. At least I'm properly hydrated. So until tomorrow, guys, like I said, tomorrow will be about cordage. I'll see you then. Have a great night, and thanks for watching. Also, guys, I don't usually ask this. If you're watching this and you're not already a subscriber, please like and subscribe to this channel. Have a great night. See you then.